March 2026, Bittensor is on top of the world. Its token just went up 2x from its bottom. Subnet 3, also known as Templar, ran by a team called Covenant AI led by Sam Dare, had trained a 72 billion parameter language model, the Covenant 72B, and received the MMLU benchmark score of 67.1. Better than even Meta's language model of only around 65. Now, this was thought to be impossible because they ran this model permissionlessly across more than 70 contributors using commodity hardware. No supercomputers, no big data centers. The community rallied behind this achievement. It even got Jensen Huang, the founder of Nvidia, praising on their success. TAO token went up 46% in a week. Templar's Alpha token went up 194% in that same window. Subnet tokens across the board were having a moment. But then April 10th happened. Covenant AI's X account posted a political bomb of a post. There were no warning, no nothing. Just Bittensor is a lie. Goodbye. After that moment, TAO price dropped 30% from $340 to $240. And as you could have imagined, panic was across the board. People thought that it was over for Bittensor, but I'm here to tell you that Bittensor will only get stronger from here. In this video, I'll be covering 3 chapters. 1. The Covenant AI full story and aftermath. 2. What's being built right now, because most people focus on the negativity while huge innovations are being done to Bittensor still. And finally, I'll talk about my TAO's price prediction from here. First, let's do a quick recap on the Covenant AI story. Now, Covenant AI on April 10 posted on X that they are leaving Bittensor immediately and accusing Bittensor's fake decentralization, quote-unquote, as the reason. Now, the team pointed at Jacob Steves, the co-founder of Bittensor and the OpenTensor Foundation, who were running a, quote-unquote, again, decentralization theater. Covenant really did not hold back because they alleged that Steves had suspended emissions to Covenant subnets, cutting off their revenue, overridden their moderation authority over their own community channels, even though it's their own Discord channel, so I don't know how they did that, unilaterally depreciated their subnet infrastructure, and then used large timed token sales to apply economic pressure. And the structural critique was even sharper. They pointed to the triumvirate governance model, which means that there are 3 wallets controlling the entire network's multi-sig, even though in paper it looks distributed and decentralized. Now, Bittensor operates a triumvirate structure presented to the community as a distributed governance. It is not. It is decentralization theater. Whew, strong words. And the market believed them instantly. TAO crashed. The broader subnet sector dropped 26%. Templar specifically fell 63% in 24 hours. Nearly $1 billion of market cap vaporized overnight. But then the founder, Steves, pushed back. He acknowledged that selling some alpha holdings across Covenant subnets is, well, it's freedom of choice. He said that those subnets were not running and were on near 100% burn code, and claimed that his sales were less than 1% of his total investment. He denied any unilateral ability to suspend emissions and noted his on-chain moves are by definition publicly visible. He also said something that's become the central debate, that his real error was failing to implement a governance fix called locked stake before this happened, which they recently did, but we'll get to that later. This implies that he saw this kind of risk coming, but he did not do anything about it. And then the community turned on Covenant as well. A prominent community member alleged that the Covenant AI team had dumped approximately 37,000 TAO tokens, over $10 million worth, across Grail, Basilica, and Templar subnets on their way out. Retail investors who had followed the team into those subnets positions were left holding a decimated bags, and sadly, mine as well. The allegation is that Covenant did not just leave, they left at maximum extraction, pointing fingers at Steves on the way out the door to distract the community from their sale. So basically, Covenant is mad at Steves for selling their subnet tokens on-chain, so they rage quitted and sold out as well. And as always, retail investors like you and I were stuck in the middle, being squeezed from both sides. Now, if you are tired of getting squeezed by TAO and its drama, then maybe consider getting squeezed by something else. Introducing Solpump is the best on-chain Solana gambling website available to play on. It's my go-to when the markets are down and the trenches are lacking. All you gotta do to play is just connect any Solana wallet like Phantom or Backpack, then bet directly out of your wallet on any of their games. You can play their 50-50 Solana coin flip game, on-chain Solana blackjack, and crash. You can also get free rewards every day like this free Solana case and hourly Solana airdrops. They also have their very own token Solpump that you earn on every single bet. Now, if you want to play where I play, come to Solpump and type in my code CNJ. Now, let's get back to the video. But what I found genuinely fascinating about this whole thing is that while people spent 2 weeks debating who the bigger villain was, Bittensor's actual network barely blinked. I mean, yeah, sure, token price was a little volatile, but technically speaking, everything is still fine, growing even. Now, the first news is that the 3 subnets that Covenant abandoned, the SN3, SN39, and SN81, were restored by community miners using open source code. No central operator, no plea to the founder, no emergency governance vote. They just rebuilt it because it's decentralization. So it doesn't care if the owner left. The network emissions just kept routing in, rewards kept flowing, and the chain didn't care that Sam there or Covenant AI quit. To be more specific, Subnet 3, or previously Templar, had been reborn under a new team called Teutonic, and this team, they were not playing small, they're professionals. The co-founder Const announced that Teutonic is targeting a 30 billion parameter training run in 1 month, compared to a year that it took Covenant team. And then, fasten your seatbelt, a 1 trillion parameter decentralized model by late May. Let that sink in. Covenant 72B was impressive and made headlines because it was 72 billion parameters. Teutonic is pointing at a model nearly 14 times larger, 1 trillion parameter. If this ships even closer on time, the Covenant drama becomes a footnote in the story of a bigger technical achievement. And the team has been on fire lately. They had a previous Teutonic 1 run, which has ended now. They have a new one called Teutonic 3 has been seeded. Everyone is starting from 0, but the size is 3.29 billion parameters. I mean, it's not close to 30 billions or even 1 trillion, but in just a couple of days, this is a good progress. And then we still have the other big subnets running strong. We have Chutes AI, subnet 64, is currently pulling about 14.39% of daily network emissions. That's the single largest share of any subnet, and they're processing over 50 billion tokens per day. 50 billion tokens on a day. They've also implemented end-to-end encryption using post-quantum MLKEM 768 and trusted execution environments, meaning that your prompts are genuinely private, and there is a revenue-funded buyback mechanism already running live. This is a subnet that you should be watching. Next, we have Target. The subnet 4 is ran by Manifold Labs, and they just did something that no Bittensor subnet has done before. They co-authored a former security white paper with Intel. Okay, big deal, a white paper. But no, it was a white paper published on March 23rd, so about a month ago. It's titled Decentralized Compute on Untrusted Hardware Using Intel TDX and Encrypted CVMs, meaning that they have figured out how to run AI workloads on hardware that you don't even own without the hardware owner being able to see or tamper with what you were computing. Now, this is massive for enterprise adoption because companies that could not trust decentralized AI before because of security concerns now have a cryptographic reason to. And the Intel partnerships isn't just, on paper or theoretical, right? Intel and Target confirmed a commercial deployment with PwC France and Makharev, I don't know how to pronounce it, the first major enterprise rollout of this confidential compute stack. Target also closed a $10.5 million Series A, joined the NVIDIA Inception program, and projects $10.4 million in annualized recurring revenue. At this point, Target isn't just a subnet, it's a serious startup with serious fundamentals sitting inside of Bittensor's ecosystem. Now, beyond the individual subnets, the broader ecosystem is maturing fast. The General Tensor closed a $5 million funding round in March, anchored by Goldman Sachs-backed fund and DCG. Now, this is old news, but still worth mentioning. TAO Institute launched April 15 with a subnet risk index, which is a standardized open source scoring system for evaluating subnet health across 4 dimensions: emission viability, market structure, economic sustainability, and governance. It covers all 128 active subnets, so just think of it as the Moody's rating system for decentralized AI infrastructure, which is widely important with what institutional capital needs. And then we have a huge moment recently. BitGo and Yuma Group just announced a partnership giving institutional clients the ability to stake and trade Bittensor subnet tokens on a single regulated platform. Okay, not TAO token, but the subnet alpha tokens. Together, they are building the rails for the next wave of institutional money into subnet tokens specifically. And as of right now, the subnet tokens collectively represent roughly 27% of TAO's total market cap, approaching a $1.5 billion cumulative ecosystem value. Sure, its biggest operator had left, but the network is doing just fine. However, one question remains. The risk of a subnet owner suddenly abandoning posts is still lingering. So how does Bittensor make sure that there is no second Covenant AI? Well, that's why we're introducing the BIT0011, the conviction mechanism. On April 16, the co-founder Const held a virtual town hall and proposed what's now being called the BIT0011 conviction mechanism, also known as a locked stake. Now, the idea is very simple. The subnet owners must lock their tokens for a defined period of time to accumulate a quote-unquote conviction score. The longer that you lock, the more governance power that you earn. That score will decay over a 30-day interval if you stop maintaining the lock. So walking away costs you influence in real time, publicly, and on-chain. The practical effect is that you literally cannot rage quit and dump tokens without the entire network watching your conviction score collapse. It makes sudden exits expensive and transparent by design. Now, the proposal is being voted on at Bittensor's Open Thursday Discord calls, targeting subnet 3, 39, and 81 first, the exact subnets that Covenant ran. For now, business is back as usual. Alright, and now let's talk about TAO token price. Where does TAO go from here? Now, a big part of TAO's recent rally, about like 100% or 2x from its bottom to about $350 or $60, was because of Covenant AI being able to train the Covenant 72B. But now that Covenant AI has left, we're seeing a pullback down to the previous range, and that's going to be my bear case as well. My bear case is that if Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin right now, if Bitcoin price is moving down, given the general geopolitical situation with Iran and wars are happening, then of course Bittensor TAO token is gonna be influenced by the general market, and it's gonna go down to its previous level before Covenant AI at around $180, basically below $200, okay, to even $175. Now, this is a very strong support of TAO, so if it's going down to this range, I'll make sure to keep buying, because that's what I'm doing. I'm stacking up TAO and investing it for years to come. Now, that's going to be the bear case. Now, the base case, I think what's happening next is that people moving on from the Covenant AI exit story, the drama, focus more on building on Teutonic, more partnerships, huge announcement. And when that happens, we're going to see TAO token moving sideways a little bit here and moving up to $300 in a couple of weeks from now, and then heading back to its previous high of about $370, possibly breaking up and through that range and moving toward $400. But that's going to be happening in a couple of weeks or even months from now. And given that Bitcoin is moving sideways and not really bearish downward, okay? And finally is the bull case, and in this bull case, I am betting a lot on Teutonic as a subnet, because at the end of the day, they are replacing Templar, okay? If they manage to train the 30 billion parameter model in just 1 month like they promised, I'm sure that's gonna make headlines in the media. That's gonna be used as a marketing story. And when that happens, we're gonna see the price of TAO passing $370, because a second Covenant AI has emerged, okay? And it's only going to be stronger from there. Personally, I am more leaning towards the bear and base case, not the bullish ones, not in this market. Not because, fundamentally or technically TAO Bittensor is wrong, right? But rather because of the geopolitical situation and tension. And that's it for this week's update on Bittensor, the Covenant AI drama, what's being built, and what I think about TAO's price in the upcoming months. Bittensor will only get stronger from here. So if you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe to CryptoNinjas and comment down below what you think about Bittensor in 2026. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Daily out.